So when I first initially linked my two courses, they weren't showing up all the categories in both of the courses. So I actually had to manually add my categories to the second course for some reason. So if that doesn't work, that's a workaround for you. So let's go into assignments and create our first assignment. And so here I don't have any assignments listed, so I'm going to add an assignment. So go up to the options menu and you can see that you can add an assignment, add an ungraded assignment, so assignment that's not worth any marks, delete an assignment. You can modify the list of assignments, so you can rename assignments after you've created them and change different things about the assignment just from the list. And you can also copy assignments and import assignments from other classes maybe that you haven't linked, and shift assignment dates, etc. So there's a few options there. I'm just going to choose add assignment. And so hopefully my list of categories is going to show up here for my second class. So I'm going to click on there and I can choose which weighting I want. So if it's a project, I might choose project weighting. Click OK. So that should show up. And then the column name is going to be the short form of whatever project it is. So I'm just going to call this career. You're limited to how many letters you can put in. So I'm just going to call it career inv, or maybe career report. And assignment name, career investigation report. And then you can choose when you want to the assignment to show up, so the date that you assigned it, and then the due date. Okay, and then you can choose, because I've put as my default as total points for the project category for 30, that's what's going to show up, so that's fine. I can change that if I want. I can change it to whatever I want. And again, here, I think this is for when the portal is open, and you can open kind of allow students to drop their assignments in a Dropbox type thing. So you can choose to have that open at a certain date and then close it at a certain date. So you're not allowing any more assignments online at a certain point. And then sequence number here is if you wanted to change when the column, or where the column shows up in the sequence of assignments in the columns. So by default we chose in the preferences to set it up so that the most recent is right beside the name, and then the older assignments are further away from the student's name. So I'm not going to alter that. You can choose to drop or not drop, so I'm just gonna say not droppable. So even if you had a whole entire category that said you wanted 2 of the lowest test marks dropped, if you choose this, then this particular assignment cannot be dropped. Okay, so if it's an important assignment that you don't want to have dropped, even though you want your whole category to be considered for dropping of assignments, you can choose this to be an exception to that. And visibility, again, you can make this public, private. You can make it have no weight, no grading value. Entry mode, this is all just from the default that we set up in preferences. And this is the grading term that we are in currently. And I suppose that you can choose this item to be reoccurring. So if you have a reoccurring evaluation, you can do that. This is also a section here, again, when you have the student portal created, you can add a file or a link to this assignment, and students would have access to that. And before I save this assignment, I'm just going to show you when the portal is open. You can click on this portal description here, and you can actually attach all sorts of items to the assignment, tables, images, and links. And you can also write up a description of what you want students to do for the assignment. So, and again, at the bottom, you can add this assignment to linked classes. That's just by default. So every assignment you create, whether it's in Class A or Class B, will go to those linked classes. And again, you can add file or add web link there. So you can save it from whichever tab you're in, either the portal description or the general. The standards right now, there is no standards loaded. So and when they are, perhaps I'll create a tutorial, but it's there's nothing loaded on standards. So just create save. You could also, choose save and new, which means it'll just add the next template to the new assignment. So I'm just going to click save, and that should show up now in my scores. Now, to view your assignment as part of the other assignments that will show up in the gradebook, just like you would in Intergrade or Schoology, is you just have to make sure that you're in the right section here. So you show all grade columns. Make sure you're in the quarter in which you're reporting. So this is for quarter 3. And make sure you have the right classes. You can toggle between your classes here. And all you have to do is just click on the empty cell underneath the assignment. So here's the assignment we created, career report, career investigation report. That's the, I believe, the due date, and that's the category, and it was worth 25 points. So I can now enter in my marks. Just gonna enter my marks, and just all I'm doing is I'm entering, typing the marks in and then pressing the enter key. So it's very easy, very quick. And say a bunch of students got the same mark, so I'm just going to press Control D on that mark, and it's just going to drop down and copy that mark down. So I could even do that for the whole column, and then just change the students who didn't get perfect marks on the assignment at the end. Anyhow, so once you've completed a column, you can lock it by just clicking this icon here, and it locks it, just so that when you're entering in other marks, you don't accidentally change any of these marks. Also, what you can do for these assignments, again, if it's unlocked, is you can add notes to them. If you click on the little comment box, you can give feedback to students and parents on the assignment, so why you gave them a lesser mark. Again, this will only show up in the student parent portal when it's open, but you can also make notes to yourself too, so that don't show up for students and parents. So perhaps there's a question about plagiarism. You might want to make a note, and just so for yourself to view later, and then just click OK. And that's basically how you would add an assignment. And this posting grades, I believe, is just for when you're finished all the grades and you want to post it to the final grade column. It's not available right now because the grades aren't open to post, so even if I did click on post grades right now, it wouldn't work. So again, that's only available when the grades are open to entering in like the report card grades. And these marks would then actually automatically, when you post those, go straight over to your semester grade book or your final grade book, okay, depending on what report card you're working on.